Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin.
I'm Sandra Priestley. Welcome to the podcast. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
I am drinking again from a can. I
Another Olay.
am obsessed with these Olay non-alcoholic drinks, I have to tell you. So I am drinking a Paloma today.
Did you put some jalapenos in it?
No, because you know what? I was all excited today and I was looking for the damn jalapenos because I went, ooh, spicy Paloma. Okay, I gotta do this for Leigh. And I had a few fresh jalapenos in my fridge and not find the one. We must have used them last week. I don't know. So I was disappointed.
Oh.
I was so wanting to show up here, but anyway, that's what I'm drinking today.
Well, I am drinking some lemon water today.
Yum.
In my Chi Girl cup.
Yum.
Yeah. So
lemon. I am obsessed with lemon, cucumbers, and mint.
The best.
It's so good together.
Yeah. I mean, it's like HEB lemon water. It's not fancy.
Yeah.
But I wish that I had made it with the fresh lemons and thrown some mint and cucumber in there. But,
Yeah, zhuzh it up a little.
Yep. So, oh my gosh. We had a fundraiser this weekend.
Oh, yes.
For the Library Foundation. And it was an 80s prom theme.
I saw pictures. And I went to go back. Did I comment? I don't think I did because I saw them, but then I was actually in line at the grocery store. So I went to go back and comment, and then I don't think I did. But it looked so fun.
It was so funny because we get there. We had a big meeting that morning, not about the concert, but just our strategic planning for the next phase of the campaign that we're doing. And I told him that I was dressing up, but I didn't really get into it. So I get there and I'm literally walking up to people and they're smiling at me. And I'm taking off my glasses going, it's me, Leigh, because I had on a wig.
Yeah.
Probably had on less clothes than they had ever seen on me. And then they would start laughing because they didn't know. It was just like, oh.
Really? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So funny. But anyway, I had to order a dress to go to this thing because I don't have anything that looks 80s that's a prom dress. And so I get on Amazon and I'm going through, my girlfriend's helping me and find this cute little pink strapless dress and super excited. And I get it in. And I'm telling this story for all of you women that might get into a dress and go, holy shit, what happened to my body? So
that is my everyday.
So I'm sharing. So I slip it on and I'm looking going, okay, you go girl, 52, you can do this. And, kind of appreciating what I'm seeing. And I'm standing in front of my full length mirror. And then I turn around, Sandra.
Oh no, I'm scared to ask.
And I know my ass is gone, but it's worse than just being gone. I don't know even how to explain it, but it was kind of saggy, but it was kind of like in two pieces. It was the weirdest. And I'm looking going, what the fuck? But then I turn around and I'm looking at the front of me going, well, this doesn't look so bad. And I'm going, maybe I can just walk backwards all night.
Just stand by the wall.
Yeah. That's all. And old me would have said, you can't wear that dress.
Right.
You're too old to wear that dress. You need to go find a different dress. But 52-year-old Leigh
goes and buys Tim's.
So I'm like, what should I do? So Lily has some girlfriends over that are young. And so I go out there and I'm talking to them and I'm showing them the dress and they're like, oh my God, you look amazing. And I said, yeah, but I'm not going to turn around because I do not want to scare you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I literally walked in the house backwards. Like
Oh
they
my.
did not need to see that. I would have shown Lily, but I'm not going to torment her friends. But I get to work the next morning and now at this point, it might be Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Thursday because the thing was Saturday and I could get them overnight. So I go into the office and I'm telling the girls up front who are in their 30s. Like, this is what's going on. This, and they're like, oh, all you need is a little bodysuit,
Hmm.
which I loved the idea of because I couldn't wear a bra with that. And it would give me an ass. It would make me feel covered in the
Hmm.
dress because the dress was a little thin. And if I had gone with just panties, I would have felt naked and then I would have been uncomfortable. So they get onto Amazon, they pick one out for me, get me a strapless one with the little butt and the shorts. Spoiler alert, the,
Like it,
it was supposed to, but when it came, there was no butt in there, but that's okay.
oh,
But I slipped it on and it fit.
okay.
And I put on the dress. I still did not have an ass in the dress, but
Okay.
it looked better than it did. And it was like problem solved. Where if I had gone by my old instinct, it would to be ashamed,
Hmm.
to be embarrassed, and just to send it back and find something blah.
Hmm.
And I did not do that. And it felt amazing. And I had the best time. And we raised a lot of money. It was an amazing night. So
Nice.
that is my story to all you people that might not love the way your body looks. Go get a little shaper. It'll
Yeah.
change your life.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Right.
Yeah.
I well, because when we were in high school, when we were going to grad, there were no shapers.
No, there wasn't such a thing.
There was no, I mean, no Kim Kardashian, Skims. There was no, um, what are they called? Oh my gosh, Sarah Blakely.
Thanks.
I mean, we did not have those.
No.
We let it all hang out.
Yeah.
Like
Your
control,
ass will hang where it wants.
control top pantyhose was all we had.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And they rolled at the top, but they weren't really that great either. But I know we have come a long way.
Whole new
Well,
world.
and I mean, I love Sarah Blakely and I love her story, and I listen to her a lot on podcasts or interviews or whatever, and on Oprah. She's been on Oprah a couple times, and it was interesting because part of her story is that she was really similar to you, actually. She had these white jeans. She was in university. She had these white jeans or pants on, I guess. And she could see her underwear through. And she couldn't figure out what the heck to do because she wanted to wear these white jeans. There was nothing that she could do. So she grabbed a pair of control top pantyhose and cut the legs off. There you
Ah,
go. Spanx.
that's where it started.
She created Spanx. But what was really interesting was when she tried to, she finally found someone like a distributor that would make it, or a manufacturer that would make it. She went to have them like made, or I think it was a manufacturer that she couldn't find. Every single person that she went to was male. The males were the ones that were in control of the women's lingerie or women's undergarment industry at that time. The fuck? That makes zero sense.
Mm-mm.
I'm sorry, but I'm not going to give any man control over what I'm going to wear to make me feel good.
Right.
Like, back off, Jack. Like, no wonder, no wonder they're like, it would be too hard to get into that. No, we're not going to.
Right.
We're not going to approve that. But I mean, just imagine how many women have benefited from her pushing through and not listening to those fuckers say no.
Yeah.
You're never going to do this. You're never going to do this. You're never going to do this.
Watch
I,
me.
yeah, it was this like, how amazing would this changed women's lives because they
Yeah.
feel better in their clothes.
Yeah.
Similar story,
Yeah.
Amy Kern Lima, actually, who developed It Cosmetics.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. She had rosacea, really bad rosacea, and no product, no matter how expensive she tried, would fix her rosacea. And so she got some chemists. I don't know how these women do these things, but they're amazing.
Because they're determined.
Yeah, got
Yeah.
some chemists together, created this line for women that had rosacea or like, significant things that they wanted to cover.
Discoloration and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, just so that they could feel better. And it's not so that we women can look better to the outside, so that they could feel better. So they
100%.
feel worthy, feel confident. That's to me what Skims are, or Spanx, or whatever, and bring out that inner beauty. And so no one would support her. They would say it's a really good product, but no woman is going to purchase cosmetics from a woman who looks like you, her size, and her face with the rosacea. No shit. And guess who was in control of all of those makeup industries? Men.
Yeah.
Men. She went up in front of every single man to try to get her product on. Finally, she got on QVC. And she got on to QVC, and they assigned her someone like how to speak about the product. And she said, well, I want to go on and I want to show like before and after pictures. I want to show my face, what it looks like before and then after my cosmetics. Oh no, you can't do that. You can't, like, you've got to come on full makeup. We want you to have pictures of beautiful models. And she went, nope. And she said it was scary as hell because if she didn't sell anything that day or a certain number,
Yeah.
she would never go back. And so she was terrified. And she was under these hot lights, but her It Cosmetics were going to work. She showed up, walked online with no makeup on and her rosacea just glaring like big red cheeks. And she covered it up and she sold out everything she had.
Yeah.
And
crazy.
she sold it for $1 billion to L'Oreal.
Wow.
But if she hadn't had just gone with her gut and continued and pursued, like even when people said to her, sorry, but no one will buy from you. No woman will buy from you. I'm thinking, holy shit, every woman is going to buy from her. And why are you male standing there?
But you think about if someone said that to you with your face and your size, no one's going to buy from you.
Could you imagine how hard that would have been to, like she said, she just sat in her car crying.
Oh, the self-doubt. I mean, for her to keep going in the midst of that.
Oh yeah.
Everyone needs to tap in to some of that in their life.
Yes.
Because when I think about rejection, when you think about rejection, you and I both have never had anything that horrific said to us.
No.
And yet we'll hold ourselves back.
Right? I know. And she pushes through and she's made $1 billion. $1 billion.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's wild.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, really, if you think about it, like so many women that I work with, and probably so many people that you work with, have this fear of rejection, right? We cover that because of fear of rejection and what other people will think of us. And she said she struggled. She's friends with Oprah. I mean, how cool. But now she's friends with Oprah and she's neighbors with Oprah. Oh, anyway, but it was like what he said. So he said, "You've got an amazing product. I love it, but I'm sorry, it's a no." And so she was bold enough to say, "Could I ask why?" And he said, "Do you really want to know?" And she said, "Yeah, I really want to know." And he said, that's when he said, "No one will, I do not believe that women will buy from a person that looks like you with your body shape, your face. I do not believe they will buy." And she said, "Thank you very much for your honesty and for your time." And she left. She walked out confidently, calmly, went in her car and cried. And, but she said there was just this, like, there was a drive, there was something, there was a magic, there was like a higher power, and she believes in God. So she said it was God just telling her, just keep going, it's going to be okay, you can do this. Like, and
Uh,
yeah, it's just those two women are such an inspiration to me. I feel so connected to them for some reason. They're my BFFs. They just don't know it.
y'all just haven't met yet. This week was another one of those magical weeks at work. And one day I had 2 new hypnotherapy patients. And before I get in to hypnosis with them, I have to know like how they connect to God, because I need to know how to talk to them. Because if I get them in that state and I say something that they don't believe or they find offensive in their core, they'll like reject everything that I say. Because
Right.
that's when conscious mind comes in and is like, no, 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 no.
And does it
No,
snap them out of hypnosis then?
they're not going to hear because everything's being blocked because they feel danger.
Yeah.
So I have to get clear on how to talk to them in that state.
Mhm.
And so the first girl that comes in, and I'm asking about how she connects to God. And she's like, well, I'm not Christian. I'm more spiritual and I believe in energy and, you know, that kind of a thing. And, so we had an amazing session. And then my next client that comes in, we had the same conversation. And she is very religious. And that is a huge, huge part of her life. And when I get done with her session, it was like, wow, like I've had these two like I was energized by the 2 sessions I did with these women.
Cool.
And they were they were the same,
Mhm.
but they were different. But I saw these women connect in such a way that is the same energy pouring through both things, but it connected with each of them in different ways. And so I just felt amazing. And I went into Mandy's office, our office manager, and I'm like, oh, I just had these 2 most amazing sessions. I feel like full of energy and like I'm so, so grateful that I get to work with different kinds of people,
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
everyone's not the same. And it feels so good to get different perspectives and hear different stories and so going on and on. So then the next day I come in and I've got 2 more people coming in that day to start. And the first one comes in and she sits down and I'm like, okay, how do you connect to God? She goes, well, I'm a witch. So not like that. And I said, well, how do you refer to source, the universe? And she goes, the universe, I feel it's energy.
Yeah.
And so I thought, how cool is this? I have never knowingly visited and talked to someone that's a witch. But so I thought that was super fascinating. And, I'm on week 1. So I've got 11 more weeks to
Right.
really dig in and get to know her. And then that gratitude again. Oh, this diversity. Like, I mean, I've worked with different kinds of religious people, but it was like, oh, another perspective that I get to experience now.
Right.
Then my last one comes in, and he was at the end of the day. And so I ask him how he connects to God. I don't believe in God. And I said, well, what do you believe in? He goes, nothing. And I
Hmm.
said, well, where do you get messages from? My brain? But he wasn't saying it condescendingly. He wasn't guarded, or, I mean, he was just being honest.
Mhm.
But when he said it, I thought, yeah, I can see that. Like, because that to me, that's how source, God, how
Yeah.
how it comes through. But he was so matter of fact. And he did say, I mean, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in any of that. But just the different people and ideas on connection, and all that I'm going to get to learn
Yeah.
and have a new understanding. Because, I mean, growing up, people that were different were scary.
Well, you know what's interesting? Yes. I, as you're talking, I'm thinking, whoa, this is your next level of healing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, you went to your restaurant where all the cool things happen.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to you talk, and I'm thinking you were raised to believe that other people outside of what your parents believed were bad.
Oh, and it wasn't all, I mean, it was just the Southern Baptist. We were the
Uh,
only ones going to heaven.
oh,
That was
oh,
it.
hell is
Everyone
going to
else going to hell.
be very busy. All us cool people are going to be there. I remember you told a story years ago on this podcast
Crazy.
about how when you were first doing feng shui, maybe into doing feng shui,
Mhm.
that people were calling you a witch, and
Yes.
how that would feel fearful at that time. And now I see a lot of people labeling themselves as a witch. I don't know how you step into that,
Yeah, I don't
but
know. I don't, yeah.
I kind of love it. Like, I love a lot of it is really healing.
Yeah.
Like, from the people that I know who say it's intuition, it's psychic ability, it's healing ability, and it's not for bad, you know?
No,
Oh,
absolutely
God.
not.
This is like so amazing for you because it'll shift a lot of those maybe beliefs that you were raised with, or you
Well,
grew.
yeah, because I remember not understanding, like, how could God just let this teeny tiny small group of people into heaven and banish everyone else to hell? And there was a lot of other things that I picked up in the church that I think are awful. I think absolutely awful.
Yeah,
But
and I think you've broken those limiting beliefs, or those beliefs that you once held, right? You've broken them,
yeah,
but I feel like so it's not like you're judging anyone who is outside of the church, or judging this woman that
or
you
anyone that's inside the church.
but what's in right. But I feel like there's two layers sometimes when I'm working on myself and others.
Mhm.
It's like we break the limiting beliefs, but then we heal from it in a deeper
Yeah,
way when we meet someone who's had that different
yeah,
experience. We can appreciate them on a different level. It's like we break the limiting beliefs and we heal,
mhm,
and
yeah,
that's what I feel for you. It's like this healing,
yeah.
and
Well, I think the first step for me was I was probably 18 years old. And I mean, I was raised in the Southern Baptist Church, and we were not allowed to have Catholic friends for years, like,
wow,
because they were going to hell.
wow,
Well, in ninth grade, I had a Catholic friend, and his dad was going through a divorce, and we set him and my mother up. And I
oh,
might have shared this story, but they ended up getting married. and she converted to Catholicism. And at the time, I was like, what is wrong with you? Like,
Right.
my whole life, you've been telling me these people are going to hell, and now you're one of them.
Yeah.
And I was angry. I was very, very angry about that whole thing. And then as I got older, I realized that was the biggest gift that she could
Mhm.
have ever given me. Because you know what? She didn't get struck down. And I do not believe that God is going to throw her in a fiery pit of hell for being a Catholic.
Right.
But it also taught me, if she can find her way and her connection to God, then so can I.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I would have had the strength to say, this is what I'm choosing, and
Right.
go on my own path,
Hmm.
had I not watched her do the same thing,
Hmm.
you know? So what an example that was for me. I just
Yeah.
didn't see it at the time.
Right. Exactly.
Mhm.
My gosh, it's so cool. And you know what I didn't realize? And I mean, you've done hypnosis recordings for me
Mhm.
where you talk about God, because those are the words I use, but I didn't realize that it was, I don't know what you asked me at the time. But I didn't realize that it was part of, like, an important part of the hypnosis was connecting to something outside of themselves.
Well, it's really connecting to their inner being, because we get messages, we get
Yes.
impulses, we
Mhm.
hear, go here, call this person, do this thing, stop,
Mhm.
call Sandra, ask her if she wants to do a podcast. We
Yeah.
hear those things. So a religious person is going to say, God spoke to me. A spiritual person is going to say source or the universe or my inner being, or, and, Hindus are going to, everyone has their thing. And
Right.
so, because now, if they don't feel like they have an inner being, then I've got to go a different direction, figure out where that,
Mhm.
like with this guy, his brain is giving him information.
Yeah.
So it's just because words are so important.
Yes, absolutely. I hear what you're saying. I listen to Abraham. Abraham talks about inner being, like listening to that inner self.
Yeah.
And yet, everything that I have taught when I do mindset, when I do connecting to source, really,
Hmm.
or connecting to your intuition, is how you connect to things outside of yourself, like something that is outside of yourself. So I talk about God, spirit, source, magic, feng shui, intuition. I talk about it being like a higher power or something outside of yourself that is guiding you.
But it's in
Or
you.
some people talk about fate, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And like, so it's interesting because we're talking about the same thing. I'm talking about intuition, but it feels to me like it's my inner being connected to something outside of me. That's how I see it. Like, that's how I feel it.
Yeah.
And that's the magic.
Yeah. And I
So,
feel like it's us as one with everything. We are connected.
yeah.
Same thing.
So, we're talking about the same thing,
We're
but
talking about the same thing.
it's so interesting how we see things through our own lens, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so freaking cool. If you
And it can change as we
yeah,
get new information and learn new things. It's like, oh, I never thought about that before.
yeah.
Hmm.
Or I've never resonated
Yeah.
with something up until this point, but now that resonates more with me, or that I connect with more.
Yeah.
But I feel like so many people spend so much time in their own fucking heads, and they don't spend time to just sit with another person and really like understand how they think and how they speak. And you know what I mean? Like, I just find it so lovely to sit with someone and see their lens,
Yeah.
like how they think and why they think. And like, just, I used to say to my husband, just like crawling around in their brain, just trying to
Yeah.
like, wow, what are your experiences? Why do you see it this way? How do you see this? How do you process this? Like, our brains are amazing. We are amazing.
Yeah. And we don't sometimes let people in to really see who we are.
Exactly.
So, oh, I think we're out of time, ma'am.
I know. It went so fast.
So fast. This was good. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.
Bye.